working with, systems, or you're implementing new solutions, or whatever you're doing, you need the skills that will be explored today. And that's basically having to navigate JIRA, to understanding what an agile workflow management really looks like, which are really crucial for you to deliver impactful products, deliver impactful projects, as well as make you outstanding in your job. So today's session will be with Ayodeji Gumala, and it promises to be both practical and transformative. And we will basically dive in hands-on training that covers, project setup, agile boards, issue tracking, and things like that. But what I would implore you to do is just pay attention. DGT has a very huge wealth of experience, very rich wealth of experience in product management. Sorry. And I feel like he has a lot to give, and that's why we're bringing him on for the second time on this session. I think it'll probably be the last, because I'm not going to be able to pay him again. But welcome, Deji. Thank you for joining us. And please get yourself ready and listen to the guy that has got a lot in his fingertips. I'm looking for Deji. Deji, are you there?
I'm here.
That's great. I was searching out for you. Great. Right, Deji, you've got the floor. Thank you for joining us. Really, really appreciate how much time you have put into this for us. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, Onye. Hi, everyone. And I know it's been either a busy day for some of you maybe it's been a sleepy day, or probably out there for some activities or the other. My goal today is to continue from where we stopped the last time. Last time, when we started the training, we had the conversation around you getting to understand the agile ways of working. We talked about the historical data, what led into people beginning to how they started building project using the agile ways of working. And I explained a whole lot during that session. I felt it was too much information. So today I'm going to continue from where I stopped. However, for those of you who are joining us for the first time, you will be able to catch up. So first off, let us go into the conversation for the day. Okay, so that's me. My name is Deji. My friends call me Deji, and I've had some good experience around managing projects. There's been tons of industries I've worked in, a lot of projects I've handled, and I'm happy to give back to the team and for those who like to land a job in project management. I'll be guiding you through that journey. Okay. Agility. Let's talk about agility. I'm sure that word, you must have heard that word in a lot of environments, probably webinars, trainings, a lot of places you must have heard the word agility. And you're wondering, what exactly is agility? Projects. Some projects are simple, and some projects are very, very complex. And project managers have discovered that for the simple ones, where all the metrics are known, everything you need to build that project is known, it's easy to use any methodology you like. So let me give a typical example. I'll be messing up my screen, but bear with me. It is just a way for you to understand. If my task, or you join a company, and the task is to build a mobile app, and this mobile app is for some services, and I like to use the fintech or the bank as an example. And this fintech app is to help you onboard customers, right? So customer onboarding. Number two, you want people to be able to do verification properly during the onboarding process, and you want them to be able to, at the end of that whole journey, they should have an account. So onboarding is the first thing, and they should have an account. I'm using the acronyms. And then after having the account, the next thing you want them to be able to do is to do transactions in that solution. After they're doing transaction, in case they have any problem, you want them to interact with customer support within the app and not necessarily having to pick their phone to speak. So you want some form of communication inside this application. So I've itemized 1, 2, 3, 4. They look very simple to actualize, but these are very, very complex solutions to build within a project. Businesses and project managers now know that the only way to build things like this is to make this entire app to be built into microservices. Microservices, what that means is to build this solution into models. So there's going to be an onboarding model, account model, transaction model, and customer support model. If you do not break it this way, and then you want to achieve all of this four at the same time, you have positioned yourself for failure. As a project manager, you need to be able to further break down this onboarding into smaller compartments to know exactly under this onboarding, what you want is for people to be able to sign up. You want people to be able to do password verification or email verification. You want them to be able to do their third-party integration to verify their face before they open the bank account. And then you want them to be able to eventually pass that stage and get the compliance team to approve them so that they now eventually go to the next way, which is account. Under account, you want them to be able to log into their account. You want them to see, to create more accounts. So you are building all of this in smaller fragments, the way I've just broken it down. So basically, you have various models, and in that models, you have smaller features. What I will be taking you through during today's session is to let you know how to do what I just explained to you, which is the backbone of what you do in project management. Being able to break down a huge feature into smaller compartments and being able to manage it in JIRA as JIRA tickets. And I'll be taking you practical steps. We'll set up our JIRA together here. I have just 45 minutes to do it. Please, I would like to advise, just invest this next 45 minutes into paying attention, and I'm sure you're going to learn a whole lot. Let's go. Now, when we're talking about agility, we can't talk about agility without mentioning the software development lifecycle. Remember, the project management we're talking about here is in line with software development. Tech has become big out there, and there are various sections in the technology space. We're talking about either project management in technology or in software development. There's something we call the SDLC. Please, I'll need us to just stick with me and get this. Software development life cycle. In the software development life cycle, meaning that if you're trying to build a software, there are some certain steps you must take. And some of those steps is what have been highlighted in this body called agility that I just talked about, which starts from the planning phase, one. The second is the design of what you want to build, right? So you have to have a planning process, the design. Then the next thing you're going to when the development is really taking place, where the development of that software is taking place. After that development is taking place, it goes into the testing, where you need to test what has been developed by the front end or back end developers. Then you go to the point where this product is released to the market. But you don't end here. The loop is connected in here with feedback, because as a product manager or a project manager, you consistently have to interact with the end users of this product when you've released to know if it fits their need, and you're asking them for more features that they would like to see to make this product for you to get at least 100% in terms of customer satisfaction score, which some people call CSAT. So as a product manager, your goal is to get up to 100% customer satisfaction score. But if you feel that it is at 90, what is the remaining 10%? That 10% might be a deal breaker for you. And that might be the reason why this product is going to be one of the best in the market. So you constantly engage to know what is this 10% left. That is where the work of the product manager or the project manager is. But in agility, this SDLC we just mentioned is not a straight line. The straight line method of doing SDLC, that you must finish one before the next one, is what we call the waterfall approach. And I've explained that before. So we've gone past that now. Now we're in the agile ways of working. In the agile ways of working, all of these comes up in a cycle, meaning that the loop that connects them In waterfall, this loop is not there. But over here in agility, this loop is there. Why? Because you constantly want to get the information and then through whatever feedback you've gotten, right, back into the loop to build the product. However, remember that product I explained in the previous slide that I broke into microservices, into modular, and then I said each one has a smaller chunk like that. You then have to agree that for this onboarding, for example, that you want to do, the onboarding process, if this is the first stage and this is stage 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you need to ask yourself, how do I want to build this product? Are we able to complete the whole of onboarding process within a particular time? By the time you do your calculation and you see that the onboarding process is going to take probably some period, then you start to allocate. We will start this accounting process, right? And we start the second, probably this 1 or 2 in here is what you want to do. And then you do this entire cycle for this step within a period. That period that you agree on is what people call the sprints. So the sprint is the time it takes for you to complete one whole cycle, the agile cycle, for each of the feature or several feature that you want to build within the agile, the software development lifecycle. So have that at the back of your mind, everyone, that the most important thing you're trying to do right now is to ensure that you complete this entire cycle here for each of the feature you are taking in over a period of time. Let's assume you agree as a business that the sprint cycle should be 2 weeks. Traditionally, what I've seen is 2 weeks. I've seen 4 weeks also. And these 2 weeks time, or this 4 weeks time that you agreed as a sprint to finish each of these features that you are building is agreed upon by the team, which some people call the Scrum team, or some people call the development team or the product team. You all have to agree together what works for you. If 2 weeks works for you, you adopt it. If 4 weeks works for you, you adopt it. That means after every 4 weeks, you must have shipped some product out ready for the customers or for the users to view or for the stakeholders. Yes. Onya, you want to say something before I move on?
Yes, I just want us to find out if everyone is being carried on, if there's an understanding, so we don't lose anybody at all. Because I mean, this is the foundation of understanding what agility really is and what to follow, things like that. So, if by a show of hands or no, Chukwumarita already knows how to go. Just a thumbs up to let us know if you're feeling better. Thank you, everyone. We just got 3 people. Yes. Okay. Great. DG, please carry on. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay, let's continue, everyone. Now,
One second, Ronald. If you've got any questions, I'm so sorry, DG, you can type it in here. I can quickly answer as well, or I can bring it up to DG when he is. I don't want to break his line of thoughts. I think it's quite difficult to actually really follow up afterwards. So please type in your questions in the chat comments. I will look through and give you feedback. Some other persons as well can help with that. If not, we can also ask DG as well. Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Agility, I just mentioned right now, follows a particular manifesto. And this manifesto has focused on 4 major things. Number 1 is individuals. You must focus on interaction, getting more information. Ensure that at the end of every sprint, there's a working software available for people to use. And the 3rd is that you need to do customer collaboration to engage with the customer, just like what I said. And lastly, respond to change. You need to know how the market is changing. We all know the market is changing drastically right now. I'm going to be showing you some of the things that project managers use to move very fast in the market right now. Let's continue. Now, in the agile space, there are subsets of agility, and there are several of them. There are various ones, some they call Scrum. And if you look at the companies that use agility, 56% of them use Scrum, while we have 14% of them using hybrid. Hybrid is a mix of 2 methodologies, and the methodology that is called hybrid is a mix of the extreme programming XP and a little bit of Scrum, and that's what gives you the hybrid. We have the Scrumban. Scrumban is a mix of Scrum here and a mix of Kanban. This is Kanban here, yeah. And then we have the Scrum XP. Sorry, I think I made a mistake. This hybrid is different. This is a multiple combination of any methodology. This Scrum hybrid here is a mix of the Scrum and extreme programming, while other people just use whatever they like. There are some new methods that are coming in that are becoming big right now. It's called Spotify. I'll touch a little bit about it when we keep moving on. All right, let's go on. Now, we already know that in agility, right? In the in Scrum. Scrum is the biggest used in the market right now. So let's talk about Scrum. Scrum has various things that makes it the most preferred. Number one, it is strict. It is a little bit regimented. It has some major people involved in it, which is a product manager. Some people call this person the product owner. We have the project manager, which some people will call the scrum master. We have the end users, who are the people who are expecting the product, and then we have the developers who are working. And the product manager or the product owner has a tool called the product backlog that he works with. And then after he's done with this product backlog, he fills it up with all those things those items I said he's broken down, right? Then he prioritizes them and then have a conversation with the project manager here, or the scrum master, and they agree on what among these 8, which among them they choose 4 or more that will be going into this cycle. This cycle is the 2-week cycle I talked about that they not have to start working on. Every day in these 2 weeks, they constantly have meetings with the developers to know what they did the previous day, what they're doing after, just to prepare them for the end of these 2 weeks when they need to hand over everything they're building here to the end users or the stakeholders. Okay, that's Scrum. We're moving a little bit fast, please, because I want us to go into the practical side of things. Now, Scrum practice has major things, some major things that you need to have at the back of your mind. First off, it comprises of team, the Scrum team, right? It comprises of the Scrum artifact, which is the product vision, the product backlog, right? The sprint backlog, right? And eventually the product that is deployed. That's the artifact. And it also comprises of some activities that we call the Scrum ceremonies, which is things like the sprint planning meeting, the sprint itself, right? Then there are some other things that happen. There's a sprint retrospective sprint review. This is when you present what you've developed in these 2 weeks to the stakeholders. Let's assume these are the stakeholders here. And then there's a sprint retrospective. After you've shared what you've developed within these 2 weeks to the stakeholders, you need to have a session with all of you, all the team members. You need to have a session together to see what you did well during this session and what areas you need to improve upon. Okay. All right, let's move on. Now, let's go into JIRA, everyone. Now, let's go back a step further. When do we use JIRA? Okay. We use JIRA during the point when we are doing our planning. During our planning, we use JIRA. During our planning, we use JIRA, right? To populate our product backlog and to also populate our sprint backlog. The developers do not understand what the product owner has discussed with the customer. These guys don't know what is happening. The job of this team, the developer, is whatever they see in the sprint backlog is what they work on. So you can imagine they've been left in the dark here. They've been left in the dark here. They've been left in the dark here. They don't know what the product owner has said with the owners of the software. They don't know anything. They've never been in the part of this conversation. The only time they're going to see what you have said is this. Imagine if you have a bad product owner or a project manager. 2 of you are bad people. That means that what you are giving to the developers is going to be far away from what the owners of the whoever wants the product wants. Basically, you guys have transferred wrong information to them. And what that means is that even after these 2 weeks of building, they deploy it. By the time they deploy it, and then you come to your sprint review to show this person that you've had conversation with here, this person is going to say, you guys went outside what their expectations was. And this makes you a bad product or a product manager or project. This is what determines. So every product owner, you need to be very good at this process, which is a process of gathering this information. And we call it the requirements gathering session. So this requirement gathering session must be strong, and you must be able to translate everything you've gathered here, because at the end of this session, whatever way you do it, there are various ways of doing this requirements gathering. There are various ways we're going to talk about. It could be interviews, it could be document analysis, it could be a day in the life of the users. Whatever it is that you want to do to gather the information, this is totally up to you. You must be good at this. And I can tell you, this is where a lot of product owners, or product managers are weak. They don't know how to do this. But now we have AI that's helping us. So I'm going to show you how to do some of this. So some of the things that we advise, just like we're having a session like this where it's recorded and we're taking this recording together. You always go into the session with this team in interview and you go into a recorded session where you can get all the information you need. Possibly get a transcript, put the transcript together and analyze the transcript, then come up with a document. That document you come up with shows all the expectation of what their expectations are. You gather everything in here. Now you've gathered all things in here. To further refine it, to be sure that it meets their needs, you rewrite it again, look at everything. After you're done rewriting it, which can also use AI for that. AI can help get this information. AI can also help you do the refinements. Then after you've done all of these refinements and gathering that I just mentioned right now, guys, please don't get distracted. What I'm about to say is very important, because this is where a lot of people miss it up. They mess up their job, which especially in the UK here, a lot of your employers will not want you to. Sometimes they don't even want you to get into this phase of the whole production. They don't want you here. This is the area they want you to stay. So this is where you get to know the weakness and the strength of a product manager. Because if you fail at this place, everything here forward is going to fail. I don't know if that makes sense, so that we all understand. That is the most important part. So please, everyone, please, I need you to pay attention. Remember, there are various ways for you to get to interact with this person, this product, the owners. And the ways you can interact with them is to gather as much information as possible. Remember, transcript from recording, interview session, you can do workshops, you can do surveys and all of that. And with surveys, there are a lot of tools you can use for survey. I'm going to show you some of the tools today. But first off, let's jump into JIRA. Now, I'm going to come back to this after showing you what we can do with JIRA to build your product backlog, your sprint backlog, and to prepare for this development stage in the 2 weeks. So let's go into it. So for those of you who do not know what JIRA is a project management tool. Onye, you want to say something?
I just wanted you to please, it's kind of fast, Deji, please. I don't know if you really understand what product backlogs are or who the diagram, if you person, I know he's a user, but I know you because this is my job. So if you can just be a little bit slower and kind of give more in-depth explanation. I don't want to ask much from you, but yeah, please help.
All right, that's fine. Okay, let's get into it again. Please, everyone, just watch this. So let me start from here. The product manager or the product owner has a responsibility to be able to know exactly what the owners of the business want in their product. Remember, we're trying to build, let's assume it's a mobile app we're trying to build. Don't forget, the owners of business say they want to build a mobile app. You have to engage in something called a requirements gathering session to gather all the requirements they want inside this mobile app. Is it cross-border mobile app they want? Is it an app to do local transfer? Is it an app for a community that they just want to talk about transactions? What exactly? You need to get all the details and get it properly. How do you get these details? You get these details probably from a document that they've written. They might have written a document, their idea, or they might have drafted it into, maybe you have a session with them where you had a recorded session with them, or you have some other people, maybe you've gone outside to meet some other people to see what competition is doing. You did some competition analysis. You've done some user research, right? You've gathered all of this. Now, after capturing all this information and you've gathered it together, you need to refine it to come out with a document called the product requirement document, okay? This product requirement document, after you have written it, right, you need to send it back to this person again to review and then to sign off on it. Okay, why you need them to sign off is so that you're sure that you're in agreement, because whatever it is that you've captured here will then be what you then have to dovetail into what is called the product backlog. So a product backlog is a broken down, not a watered down, but a breaking down of the product requirement documents, right, into you need to break it down into the product backlog. So we are breaking down what you've gathered in here. Here you can do this on JIRA. Now, after you've done this on JIRA, which is, let's assume you were able to gather 500 tickets inside JIRA under product backlog that you guys are going to work on. Now, the next question is, this project manager, or some people call Scrum Master, will then have to interact with you and then come look into these product backlog with you in JIRA, and then further break it down into, remember, this is 500 in here. And after speaking with his team, he can only take 10. Only 10 he can take. So in JIRA, you also have something called a sprint backlog. So you take only 10 in here, and you say, these are the only 10 we can do within this 2-week sprint. Inside JIRA, you're able to do this also. So you further break it down. The team during this period start working on the 10 tickets that they're working on. However, every day, this project manager is having a session with all of these developers to ask them, what did you guys do yesterday? What are you doing today? And how can you improve? So based on what are the impediments that you have? So that's the response to what Onye has asked. I hope this is clear. Please give me a thumbs up if we are aligned right now, because I need to go deeper now into JIRA itself. Okay, good. All right. Now, this process from this point, this and this, right? I would like to show you how to do this right now in JIRA. When we are done with this, I'll then show you how you can then do all of this, right? In JIRA also. So these are the 3 things I want to show you, how to do all of this in JIRA. Can we go, everyone? Good? Are we good? When I'm done showing you all of this, then I'm going to backtrack and show you how you can do this part I talked about with this customer. I'll show you 3 different steps. I'll show you the one for surveys, how to get surveys to them to get information, and how to write surveys and some other interviews, and then also how to write a product requirement document with the use of AI. Please stay with me, everyone. All right, let's go on. So I'm going to take this out and then we will begin. So let's go into JIRA. What exactly is JIRA? You remember I mentioned that JIRA in itself is a project management tool, and the focus basically is just to support you being able to manage your project and build those softwares. So right now, every one of you will need to go into we need to set up our JIRA account. And to set up our JIRA account, what I just need you all to do is to go into Atlassian.com. Atlassian.com. I'm going to open it, and then every one of you just follow, just join me as we go on we do it together. Let me know once you can all see my screen, everyone. Can you see my screen? Yes? No? Maybe? Yeah? So you can all see my screen. Good. All right. Let's go. So I'm going to start. Sorry, I'm not sharing my entire screen. Let me stop sharing and share the entire screen, because I need you all to see everything I am doing. Yeah. So just come to Google and type Atlassian. Yeah. Look for Atlassian company. Click on this, and then you have Atlassian. Click on Atlassian, and then you are in here. Now, I don't have an account, which I assume most of you don't have an account already. So what do you need to do? You need to set up an account. You come in here, and then you need to sign up. So to sign up is either you want to click on Get Started, or you want to click on Sign In if you already have an account. Click on Get Started. I'm going to use an account that I've never used before to set up, and please bear with me, okay? So I'm going to use, let me look for one of my accounts. I'm going to come to Google, just click on Google and choose one of these accounts, yeah? And then click on Continue. And then just going to set up the account for you. It needs you to give it a name. So I'm just going to give it some funny name. So the name you need to give it, just this is my full name. And then, yeah, and then you start. And then I need to give it some name that has never existed, Atlassian. So this is my site that you keep seeing every time on Atlassian. So let me first say that Atlassian is the mother that owns JIRA. It's also the mother that owns Trello, also the mother that owns Confluence, and some other tools like Opsgenie and the rest. We'll talk about that. Click on Continue. And then once you do this, right, please confirm you can see my entire screen, everyone. Confirm, please.
Can I just also confirm if they are following through, as in like setting up as well? And you've also got a question in the chat to please drop the link, the Atlassian link. So I'll probably do that for you, but please just confirm that every other person is going through with the steps of logging in or signing up as you are showing us on the screens. Thanks.
Also, I just wanted to mention, I've seen someone having a raised hand for a while now, Ronald. I don't know if he has a question that he wanted to ask.
So please shoot. Ronald, please go ahead with your question.
Oh no, don't worry, that's fine. You've addressed it, so that's fine. I'm okay.
Okay, you still have your hand raised up.
Fine. Oh, sorry. I'll take care of that now.
Okay, so can I go on, everyone? Yeah,
Yes,
okay. So what kind of work do? You want to choose various work that you do depending on the type of work that you do. I will advise, since like I mentioned, you can do a lot of things on JIRA in the previous class. You can do things on human resources, you can do stuff on operation or marketing or all of this. But our advice for now, just for this process, choose product management. Okay. So I'm going to choose product management now. Yeah, and product management, and just wait. And under product management, remember, I told you there's a Scrum. There are various things you can. There's business club, but what we want is Scrum. So everyone is supposed to choose Scrum. Yeah. No. To answer your question, Jira doesn't have a laid. It doesn't have to be like a structured. Like has to be maybe following a particular pattern. Jira has multiple ways of getting in, but once you just follow the instruction, you can get in. So Scrum, just make sure it's Scrum you're clicking on, and then continue, and then you can name your project. So let's call this project Ronald. Let's call it Ronald Bank. Yeah, let's call it Ronald Bank, and then you click on Get Started. And then you want to, what type of work do you need? You want to get the features, you want to write user stories, you want to get a bug, just click on everything. Just basically normal setup. And then how do you want to track it? You want to track the idea to do and all of this. Just click on finish so you can just go. So you don't bother yourself. And then it lands you into the JIRA page. So what I'm doing right now is a setup for JIRA. Yeah. For those of you that already have.
Hi, Deji.
Yes, please.
Please, the option, is it project management or product management?
Product.
Product.
You can choose project also, whichever way. It will still, they have almost the same pattern also, so you don't get so bothered if it's product or project you choose. Yeah. Once you click on Get Started, it's going to take some time to load up the instance, but your instance is going to come up, and then my instance is up. So this is what you all will see. For this training purpose, just hide this. This normally should take you through the process if you're new at it. Just hide all of this, and now you are in JIRA. In JIRA here, just to give more context, this is the sprint backlog. Yeah, everything here is a sprint backlog. Yeah, and everything here is a product backlog. Okay, so so this is where you put all the things from things you've broken down from your product requirement document in here, and then you start depleting it in here, and it is from here that the developers will start working. Okay, so let's continue, everyone. Stick with me, please. So from over here now, the next thing is, in order to minimize this, to hide this, you're going to hide, just click on this button here, right, to hide it, so you can go into just focus majorly on the product backlog. Now, before I go on, please, I don't want you guys to get distracted, please. Please, everyone, please pay attention to this. When you're building products have various things you need to understand. Remember, I mentioned when I was explaining the banking app, I mentioned this banking app first, and I said this banking app can be divided into maybe like 3 or 4 stages, where you want to have maybe this as the onboarding, this as the account, this as the transaction, and this as the customer service interaction. And I say under the onboarding, you can further break it down into smaller chunks to work on. Now, this onboarding itself, right, which is a bigger chunk of what you want to do, most of the time we call it epic. This is epic. Okay, they call it epic. And so you need to capture the epic, so you know which of these things belong to what. So when you break this down, you know the one that belongs to this. It's just good to arrange it that way inside JIRA, so it helps you in terms of how you. So in order for you to proceed with that, I always advise you come in here under epic, and then you switch it on to put it on. And epic shows at this side. So once it's on, so always come in here and switch it on. So you have your epics here, you have your this is your product backlog, and this is your sprint. And it is waiting for you to start the sprint 1. Remember, the sprint can take probably 2 weeks or 4 weeks, depending on what you want. So please understand this, very important. So let's use that Ronald banking app as our example, like what you said. So we start by first epic is called the onboarding. Okay, let's go the onboarding. Yeah, and then the next one, just click, write it and hit on enter, right? And then you can write the next one, which is account, right? And then hit on enter, and then write the next one, which is transactions, and hit on enter. And then the last one, which is customer support. Yeah, and hit on enter. So you have all of these three created. Now, please don't think this is where it ends. Now you have all your epics. You have 4 epics captured for this banking app. If you click on this arrow beside it, it's going to show you more things like the details, and this is where you can come in and view this in detail. What you've done here is captured there, and you can make edits in case you made a mistake right here. But please don't tamper with this, please. For some reasons, I'm going to ask you not to tamper with this. You understand later, because it's going to make things go like complex. It will become very complicated because you just leave it neatly this way, right? For those who have mastered the art of doing very advanced work on JIRA, they can start going in there. So like this, where I made a mistake and wrote small t, I can click on this and then come in here. It opens here, and I can make my change here, and just write my t, right? And then once I do this, click on OK under here, and then I can close it so it comes back here. So basically, your epic neatly arranged here. The next thing now is, remember where we're coming from. Remember I said we started with this product, right? The product, and then we have, this is onboarding, this is account, this is transaction, and this is customer service. So we have all of this captured now. The next thing we need to do now is to further break this down. So to further break this down, I need to open my backlog, and let's as my product backlog. Now inside the product backlog, what you are writing is a journey on how the user gets onboarded in here, step by step. That story that you need to write on how the user moves in, which is like you telling a story to a 5-year-old, is the way to write user stories. You need to be that, it needs to be that broken down so that your developers can understand what they want to achieve, because that is the same thought process that they use when writing their code. So from here, we're going to start by writing our user story. To do that under the backlog, please remember, I'm not touching sprint. It is product backlog I'm looking at. So I'm going to clear this out now, and then let's talk about this. So I come under create. When I click on create, it's asking me, is it a feature I want to create? Please don't get in a rush to start typing. Click on this, and what you want to write is a story. So to now give you a good definition, just in case you get into an interview and they're asking you, what is a product backlog? You say a product backlog, you need to let them know that a product backlog is a living document that captures all the future expectation or the future items that need to be built within a product. It comprises of tasks, stories, bugs, and features. You need to say everything that you can see here. So this is a clear definition of what a product backlog is. But this time, we want to capture the story. So a story is what you want to do. A bug is a failure that has happened when you are trying to build. Maybe you are testing, and then while you've tested what the developers have built, there is a failure somewhere. That failure is a bug. You need to raise it so that it can be fixed. And you need to come write it so that they know this thing is not working fine. Please fix it. So now I'm going to start with story. I'm just going to click on story. Now that I've written a story, I then have to start writing a story. Now I'm going to take you out of JIRA now and tell you a simplified way of capturing your user story. Remember, we're trying to build Ronald Bank, and these are the user stories. These are the epics we want. I want to write user stories, but I don't want to use too much. So I'm assuming that our product requirement document what gave us this, but now I want to break this down into user stories. So I'm going to go and use Gemini, okay, or ChatGPT. Let's use ChatGPT because a lot of people use ChatGPT a lot. Yeah, ChatGPT. And let's assume I want to use ChatGPT. That's assuming, I'm assuming that I don't have a PRD. But if you have a PRD, you must have written those things out. So you come here and you say, so this is a little bit of prompt, the setup when you're trying to make a prompt. You act as, you need to create a persona for the AI. Act as a product manager, capturing epics, user stories, acceptance criteria for features of a banking app called Ronald bank. Okay. The major epics are onboarding, accounts, transactions, and customer support. Write detailed user stories. Write detailed user stories, associated acceptance criteria. I'm going to talk about what acceptance criteria is very soon, for each of the epic, and also put it in a tabular format, and then you hit and go. So ChatGPT help you build those things up for you. So it's putting in a tabular format for you.
Here's a detailed breakdown of epics. User story.
My apologies, please. Okay, so it writes all of this. So the epic for this is capture the epic for you. It's capture the epic 2, which is account, transaction, and everything. So this is like a guide. So I'm going to explain a little bit about acceptance criteria. The acceptance criteria you are seeing here is following a particular pattern called given, when, then. I'm going to explain. So the user story says, as a user, I want to register with my phone or email and verify my identity so that I can create an account. This is how a user story is written. A user story is broken into 3 sections. Number 1, the persona. Then you need to write what you want to do. Yeah, this is what you want to do. Then what the result should be. So there's as a, I want to, so that, so those are the 3 keywords you must use in a user story. As a, this is specifying who the user is. I want to, what you want to do comes behind, so that, which is the result. So this is how you take. Then the acceptance criteria that follows this is you're trying to tell it that when, given that I sign up, I'm on the sign up page, right? You can see that as a given side here. When I enter my phone, email, and submit the OTP, this is the when side here, yeah, then my account should be created and verified successfully. So these are the acceptance criteria that you carry for each of the user story. Why do we write acceptance criteria? We do this because the QA tester, remember that our software development lifecycle, when the developers are done, the QA testers will now pick up on these acceptance criteria to be checking each of the things that have been done if it follows the pattern. If it does not follow the pattern of these acceptance criteria, the QA is going to fail that particular feature and tell them that they did not build it properly. So I'm just going to do this. I'm going to copy this. First off, we've captured our onboarding as the epic. So I'm just going to copy this. This can be more detailed than this. Don't follow this. My method is a little bit simple, right? There are some prompts that you need to put in that is going to make it really solid. Okay, so I'm coming back in here. I'm just going to paste it in here, and once I do this, hit on enter. I'm going to come back in here, and I'm going to copy the acceptance criteria, copy, come back in here. To write that, you need to click on this. Then you see under description here, right? You can then write just write AC. You can call it AC, but it's acceptance criteria, and then you paste it in here. And then once you do this, you save. So your given, when, then is here to capture this. Given, when, then is for this user story. Okay, you do the same thing for the next one, continuously like that. Yeah. Yes, I seen the question about the prompt. I can share this prompt. That prompt is too easy. There's some more sophisticated one. Next time when you want to write prompts, this is not the best way I would advise you to write prompts, right? The best way I advise you to write prompt is this, because there's supposed to be another class for prompt engineering. But let me show you something you can do to write prompts. So I'm going to open a new chat, and then you say, act as a product manager and write the best prompts I can use to get the best results to capture the details in JIRA. So you're asking the AI to write a prompt for you. So you remove all of this. Yeah, just remove all of this. So you're asking to write a prompt for you. So you can't be as good as an AI writing prompt. So he's writing the prompt for you. See the prompt he's gotten for you. Yeah. Okay. So he's written a prompt for you, and then look at what he's done. He's written the prompt, and then he's giving the result. However, if you want better than this, you can just copy all of this as a prompt. Yeah. And then paste it in here. Right, paste it in here, and then you can then write, make sure it is detailed and elaborate, and hit it. Let it. So you've used the AI to get the prompt for the results that you want to also get. So it's going to get all this information and come back with a result for you. Okay, that's how to prompt to get to write best prompt. There are some other tools that you can use. There's a tool I've seen, it's called the prompt library.
Hi. I'm just going to stop you here because we are going out of scope.
No, it's okay. No, it's okay. No, I need them to have this. It's good that they know this. This is not out of scope. This is the major thing. Otherwise, they're going to fail at a lot of things. I know why I'm going to go in here. So sometimes if you need to now to write prompts, go to prompt libraries and just click on the one from Anthropic, and you want to write anything here. Just tell it what you want to write. It will get all the prompt for you. Copy the prompt and use it. Okay, that's a fast way to get things. So look at, it's written all of this. You can see it's more detailed than the one that we had before. But I'm going back to the previous one that we're doing, right? This is what we're doing. Let's come back here. Now we're back in here. I think, did I copy this for the second one? Yeah, we've done the second one. The third one, yeah. Coming back here, paste it, and then, sorry, come back here, copy this, get this, and then upload all of it here. Now under, call it your AC. And then you have all of this and save. Now, all of this is done, and then you have this. I'm not going to copy the rest of it because of time. So now we want to assign. It has assigned wrongly to the wrong epic. So we need to assign these user stories to the right user stories. So all of them are under onboarding. What you then need to do is you need to come in here, click on this, and then change it to onboarding. Right? Click on this, change it to onboarding. Click on this and change it to onboarding. And then you can click on, check this to leave, and then you click on onboarding to show everything under onboarding. Anything you click on shows. You click on all four, it is waiting for the rest to show. And then you want changes from idea to this is the workflow. Basically, this is what you guys are trying to work on. So it's still the idea. So it will keep changing when you move it to sprint. Now, this is a product backlog. When you're about, let's assume we've written 50 of this, which is product backlog. And inside the product backlog, you can see your acceptance criteria in here. You want to start moving things into the sprint. You're about to start the project work. And then you have your developers ready. You and the project manager. The project manager, this is your job now. At this point, the product manager has gotten all these things out. You as a project manager, your job is to further critique everything is written here. If it's not written it in the way that the developers can understand, you need to kick back. You need to push back. Push back until you get it refined. Because you can come in here and say, as a user, I want to register with my phone, email, verify my identity. And this in itself feels like it's a user story. Meanwhile, it is not a user story. This is too big. A user story, if any user story exceed a maximum of 4 days to build, it is no longer a user story. It is an epic. So there's something that the project manager should be good at. It's called user story slicing. It's called story slicing. So you need to further slice the user stories to make them smaller than what it is. So what you need to do at this point is, as a user, I want to register. This is too big. Why don't you write, as a user, I want to click on register button on my banking app so it can give me 2 places, use email and phone number to register. Then you write, so this one can lead into maybe like 3 or 4 user stories eventually. So as a project manager, you must be very good at slicing. So let's come back. Watch this, everyone. Stay with me. Let's assume I don't like this and I write these user stories are too big. Further, slice them properly. So it can be streamlined and add the acceptance criteria to it. Hit and go. It's going to further break down all of those user story and make it smaller, right?
Great.
So
Slicing the user stories into
sorry. So it's going to further slice it and bring it further so it can break it down. So you can imagine as a user, I want to register with my phone number so that I can. So it is written that a phone number separately. It's written the other one for OTP separately. It's written the other one for your name, email, and how it is done. It's written all of this. So this is called the further slicing of user stories so that you can further capture it in here. So as a project manager, your job is to further slice it. Once you guys have agreed on what you want to slice, then you now start moving things into the sprint. This is how to move things. Hold it, drag it into sprint. Let's assume these are the two you want to do. Now this is how to move things into the sprint. Now you've moved into the sprint. The next thing after you've agreed, there is an activity that some of you need to do with your developers to then agree if this is what they are capable of doing within this sprint. Some of them will tell you, no, it is too much. You see these numbers showing up here? This 0 here, the 0 here, and this 0 here. They are called story points. These are the ways you track the work that the developers are working, how the developers are working. Some developers will tell you that one particular user story is going to take them 5 days. That is too big. You need to slice it. As a project manager, your job is to keep slicing this until you have the best. So you might want to return it back if they're saying it's too big for them. Return it back and further slice it with what I did. Now, after slicing, how do you get these numbers over here? The way to do it is there's some activities you do with your team. Some people call it planning poker, where you plan to write the user stories properly and know how long it will take for each one of them to be able to do it. Now, let me show you how to get a plan. Over here, there's this dot over here. You click on it. And once you guys have agreed on what the story points, if 1 to you means 1 day, add it there. If 2, sorry, let's go back. If this one, if they will take 2 days to do this, no problem. Maybe they say for the last one, they're saying this one is going to take 5 days. No, this is not a user story any longer. This is an epic. So you need to slice it down. Yeah. So you slice it down, and once you've agreed, now look at this 1, 2, 5 I've written. The moment you carry it up here, this number start changing up here. You carry the second one, bring it here. You bring it in here. This becomes 3 here. Basically, what this means is that you have told the developer know that in 3 days they must finish this. Now, once you've agreed that this is it, then you need to start the sprint. Project managers, this is your job. You come in here and click on start sprints, and while you're in here, you then agree. Remember, this sprint is supposed to be 2 weeks, and this is sprint 1, right? And then automatically it calculates the time, and then you need to have a goal. The goal is to probably to achieve the onboarding process completion. Yeah. And once you've done this, you click on start. Please watch what's going to happen when I click on start, everyone. When I hit on start, things change here and it moves me straight into boards. This is backlog where we're coming from. It moves you into board. And then this time it arranges it into some various columns. This column is the idea, which is your backlog. Then they start assigning it to them. Developers start assigning it to themselves by dragging it in here. Yeah. And then they start putting their name on it. Let's assume this is the person who is a developer, is under developer, but these developers must have been entered in JIRA. And while they are working, you as a product manager, every day you want to see what is in progress. So this is what you'll be doing every time on your sprint, your daily stand-up or your daily meeting, asking them what are they doing. And when they are done, they move it into here, testing. Some organizations or some project managers, please listen, this is where your job is. Okay, I've been ever since we started talking about sprint backlog. It is your job, I've been saying all the way. So let's go back. The job of the product manager ends in product backlog. Your job starts from sprint here. All those slicing, capturing the story point, ensuring that this is not too big, refining the acceptance criteria, ensuring that the right thing has been taken into the sprint, and then starting the sprint using the start sprints, and then coming on the board and then managing them when they are on the board here to be sure that they are doing the right thing. At this time, the product manager is chilling and watching you guys do your thing. He's not going to get involved. Some project managers believe that having in progress and this do not cut it. Some of them want to open a new column. These are to open a new column in JIRA. Click on this plus sign, rename the column. Probably this column you want to call it. Some of them have something called the 3 amigos. I'm going to talk about the 3 amigos now. So when you hit on OK, the 3 amigos are going to show up somewhere at the back here. But you can also drag it just like the other. Drag it. Most of the time, the 3 amigos always come before in progress. Who are the 3 amigos? The 3 amigos are the product manager, the project manager, and the lead developer most of the time. And the reason why they do these 3 amigos is before they move it into in progress, they bring it to 3 amigos here for further clarification. Probably the developer does not understand what you guys have written. He's confused. He needs some clarification. These 3 amigos point is where things you need to discuss. And when there's any discussion in JIRA, you need to click on the ticket. Don't just assume that anything, every conversation that is happening in any ticket, this is the ticket now. Let's go back. From the backlog, this is a ticket you created. A user story is a ticket. These are all tickets. The moment they move into board, they are seen this way. And if you want to write anything inside, you need to click on this, scroll down, scroll down, scroll down, and then you see comments, and then you can write here. Anytime you want to tag somebody inside JIRA, you use the @ sign. It looks for the people that are in the team. Let's say this person that's supposed to do the job. And tell him you have not tested this, you've not tested the feature correctly. Let's assume this is what you want to write here. And then you think that he doesn't understand what you're saying. You can come here, attachment, you can add a link, you can add pictures or video of that particular spot in the product that he's messing up in, or the developer has not done well. You can add a picture in here. Let me pick a picture, upload. Let me get a picture from somewhere within my computer. I'm just going to pick anything and let me pick this. And then I just put it in here. And when I put it in, I save. But because I've tagged him, this person is going to get an email immediately saying that there's a comment that's been left for you. So he's going to come in here and see that there's a problem somewhere and he can fix it. Now, let's go a little bit deeper. I'm stretching this so that you guys can see what is in this side that we're looking at here. In this side, we're on the 3 amigos. Maybe there's some clarification. You do all your comments, right? Everybody, this is like your chat room now for each of the tickets. So every ticket, once you click on the ticket, this becomes your chat room. Comments become your chat room. Whoever is assigned to comes in here. You assign this ticket to the person. So this is where all the work, you are following them to see what they are doing. If they have a problem, they're going to capture it in here. You see it, and then you help them to resolve it. And until you get to testing. When you get to testing here, if you're a product manager, this is where you get on board again together with the testers, because you need to see that the testers are passing everything. Don't allow them to move anything to done until you're sure that they've tested this feature properly. Remember, this complete sprint thing is counting down on the 2 weeks timer that you set earlier. So it is also the project manager that can also complete a sprint that the sprint has ended. And you see here, you see that it's capturing the details. Once you click on complete sprint, see what happens, everyone. I'm about to go because I want to go into deeper things on JIRA now. When you click on complete sprint, it means that the sprints have been completed. It's now going to ask you, remember, before I go on, see, there's something here on 3 amigos, something's on testing, nothing is done. So look at what it's asking. This sprint contains 0 completed work and 2 open items in the work items. Yeah. Complete work items include everything in the last column. Open work items. So it's now asking, do you want to move all the work items to the new sprint, meaning sprint 2? If your answer is yes, it's going to close the sprint and go to sprint 2. But if not, you can cancel, move this to done, right? Then, okay. Then move this to maybe to testing, and let's try and complete the sprint. Over here, if I'm moving the thing, so if I click on complete sprint, please everyone watch what's happening, please. Because we're going to the next thing. Remember, we started from the product backlog, we moved to the sprint backlog, we went to the development. Now we are post development, we want to complete the sprint. When I click on the sprint, see what happens. When I click on it to end the sprint, sprint has ended. Look at what has happened. It has moved the uncompleted task into sprint 2. Sprint 1 no longer exists yet. It is now sprint 2, and it is giving you a time when sprint 2 should be from 5th of July to the 19th of July, taking another 2 weeks. Okay, so if you look at all of this, this is how it prepares you for the next, meaning that it is ready for you to take this old one that you did not take and bring that in here again, and then agree. Yeah, so this is how the product backlog and sprint backlog work. Now, let's assume you want to go deeper to see what is happening in the entire dashboard. What is happening in this dashboard for the, let me click on this accept all. You want to see what is happening for this entire project. Now, once you click on project, it takes you out of this place and bring you into the project room. So this is your project. Yeah, this is where you're coming from before. If I click on it, it takes me back into board. I can see my backlog. My board is empty, meaning that sprint 1 is over. It's waiting for sprint 2. This is my backlog. This is what was left from sprint 1. And these are the new items. The summary shows you a dashboard. So this is the dashboard that shows you everything that is happening inside the project you are working. How many completed tasks, how many updated, and all of this. Now, these are the things that shows, look at showing the epic, how many is done. This is what the senior managers of the business look at to know if the project manager and the product managers are doing their job. And how do they get in here? When this project was created, they will have been added to this project. How do you add people to this project now? This project that we're working on. The way to add people is when they had created this project, some people have been added in here. And this is how they add them. Under here, you can see this part here. We have 3 things here: full screen, share, and then there's the automation. Under share here, they'll have added the names of the people. So they will have added it here and you will not know. But from time to time, they just click on their JIRA. When they open their JIRA, it will show them the summary of everything that you guys are doing. They can see everything happening in here and track to see what is happening in here. How many items are still in work? How many have been done? Amigos, we have 0. We have 1 in testing. We have 1 done. So we have 5 ideas that have been captured. The recent activity that has been done, all the information here, they can see everything that's happening right from the summary screen here. Calendar view shows what is happening, how you guys are moving, right? It gives you an idea of how the progress is going on. Timeline view is counting down to everything that you guys are doing. This is sprint 2, this is sprint 1, and what you guys are working on. Pages over here basically allows you to write your product requirement document. And I promise I was going to show you all of this. Here, what they've done, JIRA has done is they've integrated somehow Confluence back into JIRA. So you can capture everything in here. So let's try it. Click on try now. And it tells you your project pages that is directly in JIRA now. Click on next. Just click on next. Basically, they've unified Confluence and they put it in JIRA. So it's setting up. Once it's set up, I'm going to show you how to write your product requirement document and bring it here in JIRA. So basically, the team or the business can see the product requirement document in one side. They've seen what you've captured in JIRA, and they are checking it side by side to see if you are adhering or you've gone far away from what you agreed with the product, the customer in the first place. So now you need to write the item. Let me see, did they import the AI in here? Because the AI used to be in here. So let me just write it as Ronald Bank PRD. Yeah, I'm just gonna create it this way. Yeah, and for every time you write anything in Confluence, you also always need to click on publish. That is how you save it. So it's saved now. You can see you can also open the item in Confluence, but you are in here. Now you're in here and then you want to write. Okay, it's here. The AI is here. So you need to open the page first. Now you want to write. What do you want to write? You can click it here. So this can help you. You click on this and the AI is here. You try it for free. Remember, whatever you're writing in here, let me see, will it allow me? It's asking me to upgrade. Come on, please don't ask me to upgrade to use the AI. Come on, please. Oh my, it's asking me to upgrade to use the AI. So I'm going to close it. Yeah. So if it needs to do this, then I can come back in here. Let's assume there was a, I can say write a detailed PRD for the features captured above for the product. Just want to show you how you can do some of those things. Yeah. So it's writing it for me. So I want you to write like the PRD. So this is the PRD, what the PRD will look like. Yeah, I'm just gonna copy all of it. This is me just playing around, but
Check mark. The detailed product requirement.
So, but PRD sometimes can be way better than this. Okay, but I'm just want to show you how to capture it in JIRA, because the goal of this session is to show you how to use this on JIRA. Come back into your JIRA here, and then you can paste it in here. Paste matching. Oops. Paste matching style. Yeah. And then this is my PRD, all captured in here. Yeah. And then you want to maybe make this bold, so you can increase it to the header sign. This, you want to make them this part. Just see this like your Google, like your Microsoft Word, right? You want to do all of this, and then whatever it is you want to capture. And once you're done, don't forget, every time you write anything in here, come to the bottom, click on save. Sorry, please, where is the mouse? Click on save. And now once you clicked on save, it's saved. Yeah, you can close it, but please, let's check. Did it save? Yeah, it's in here. So everything is in here now. No, where is it? Sorry. No, it didn't save. My apologies, it didn't save. Okay, this is it. Now look at how it is written. So it's hidden in here. When I click it, this is it, Ronald Bank PRD. Click on it, and it shows what I wrote here. So the business can check the PRD all in one place in JIRA. They can see your PRD here on the pages. They can see this, and they can see this. But now I want to get a little bit tricky. There's a new one they just added here, which is forms. Under forms here you can actually create a form, somewhat like a survey within the company, and share with people. So you can click on create form, and then what different type of work you want to create. Let's assume you want to create it for epics. Yeah, let it create. And then you want to ask a question, and then you want them to respond in a particular, so you can be dragging the way you want it to be. So project is run out form, summary, this is required. So I want to write the summary, and I'm saying this is a survey or something, right? And then you just leave this one. This not. The next one is description, maybe no. So let's assume we want to let me create a new field. Create a new field, select the type. You want the response to be, people should respond by clicking on checkbox, or you want to just be a drop down where they can select something from. Yeah. So the field name is let's call the field name just say hey, for example. So it's going to join this to have new fields. That's drop down, because there's no drop down in here. Now you have this. So basically what you now want to do is move this in here, or you can move it in here, and you then turn it and say how did you feel about our product? Yeah. And then you want to give response, different kind of response in here. Option 1, sorry. So this required is because you want it to, come on. Okay. Option 1 is I loved it. Yeah. So it should give me several options. Sorry, there's something wrong somewhere. Just a minute. Oh, sorry. It want me to put the option in here, so I should have different option. Yeah. So I'm gonna put. So option 1 is I loved it. I loved it. And then option 2 is maybe or something. Option 3 is I hate it. So these are the fields that you now have. Everything is saved. And then so I'm going to take this out now and bring it back in here. So this hey is what I'm bringing in here. I can call it any name. So the question is, how did you feel about our product? And I'm going to write the description. Choose one out of the following. Yeah. And yeah. And this is a required field because I want people to respond to it. And then I keep doing this. And then when I'm done with creating this form, I can then click on this. And then I want to share it with the team. I can share it with them in Slack if they are, if we use Slack in the business, or you just want to write their names here and send it to them, or you just want to copy the link and then drop it in the room for them to fill. When they click on it, it's going to bring them in here to fill the form, and they can fill the form. And you can use this for your survey capture. So you don't need to. So basically, they're trying to discourage you from going out of JIRA to use maybe like Google Forms and the rest. So you can do everything in JIRA. And when all the summary have come in, you can view the summary in here. You can see everything, the feedback they've given, everything. You can see it in here. Yeah. Sorry, I'm rushing, but basically, JIRA has upgraded. So yeah, you can have a summary dashboard, your backlog here. You can see your boards, the work that is happening, calendar view of what is happening, timeline following everything that is happening here, pages to capture your PRD document. Click on this, you get your PRD here, forms for you to do your user research or your survey or whatever it is that you can create your form here. I'm going to stop here and open the room for questions. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, DG. Thank you, everyone. If you've got questions, can we just have them? I think we've got some few questions in the chat, and I'm not sure if it's been answered correctly, but I think Osasu Ajayi wanted to understand what prompt engineering is, and I think I've probably given her the feedback. I don't know, is that enough?
Yeah, thank you so much, for the session this afternoon. It was really enlightening. I think our facilitator mentioned about something initially about prompts. We should make good use of prompts. So I didn't get it well. So that's why I'm asking. Did he say prompt engineering?
Prompt library. Prompt library is what I said.
Okay, yes, thank you. Prompt library.
That helps
Yeah.
you to be able to get your prompt to be solid. So just in case you are weak in prompt engineering, always
Yeah.
take advantage of. So you just go to Google, right?
Okay.
There are a whole lot of prompt libraries available out there. Yeah. Just click on prompt library. It's going to give you a whole lot.
Okay.
Elementor have some, Copilot has some. You have a whole lot you can play with. There's one here. I think this one, what you just need to do is you write what you want to achieve, and it develops a prompt for you that you can use on.
Okay.
Anthropic has another one here. So you can see it has, so let's say you want to build, let's say mobile app, or let's say app. Yeah, it can help you to get business prompts or something.
Okay.
So you want to click on this. So there's some prompts that you can just copy, and some of these prompts are in Markdown. Sorry, let's not go into it because that can take you. So there are a lot of prompt libraries you can play with. Probably just write an app script that will translate this. So you just copy, right, and then drop it in
JIRA.
No, not JIRA. You can drop it in any of the AI tools.
ChatGPT. Yeah.
For you, yeah. So there are a whole lot of it out there that you can play around with. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Any other question, please?
Thanks, AJ. I think prompt library, prompt engineering will probably be in one of our next classes, so look out for that. Osasune Ajayi. I know has got a, I don't know if it's a question or okay, let me go to Rita.
Okay, I was just gonna ask Deji, I know you talked about some tools for transcripts, after recording, let's say a meeting or some session with some stakeholders. I don't know if you could, bring up to speed up on the type of transcripts we can, actually use tools
In
for
your company, exactly, what workspace do you guys use? Is it Microsoft, Google, or which tool do you use?
Microsoft Teams.
Okay,
Microsoft.
Microsoft Teams. So two things you can do. I think Microsoft Teams already has its own note taker AI. Yeah. If you
Okay.
observe in this room right now, I have a note taker. You must see a note taker called not no note taker, right? So there's is in here like an attendant in here. There's not no Zoom note taker. At the same time, while talking right now, if you observe, I'm sure when you logged in, you must have heard that this meeting is being recorded, and this meeting is Gemini is taking notes. So I've connected Gemini in here also. So for example, if I share my entire screen, so you can see where we are right now. Can you see my screen? Yeah. Can you see it? Sorry, it's showing. If I click on this, you can see all the things we're saying is being written down here. Yeah. Everything is being written down here. So this is a note taker from Gemini that comes with Google Workspace. So for Microsoft, you can use the one that comes with Microsoft, or I will also advise you might want to get some. There's one that I love so much. Gemini is my favorite. The next one is called Fathom AI. You might want to create an account. I think it's free up to some. Let me just show it to you. Let me know once you can see my screen, please. So this one is called Fathom. So Fathom AI. It's actually very good because it can connect to this Fathom meeting note taker. You connect it to your Google Meet or whatever, and then once you connect it, start recording, and then it doesn't just record or transcript, it sends it to your email. So from there, you can do whatever you like with it. Yeah. So you have your meetings, right? It comes, so once you have an account anyway, and it's actually the one in the room right now, with everyone. So let me go in so you can see it. Yeah. Oh no, I think it's the wrong one I'm in. Let me see. Is it? Oh no, it's the wrong one I'm in. It's the wrong one. Anyway, you can always use Fathom AI. Let me see. I think it's this one. Yeah. It's able to, and you can connect that to mine, right? All the meeting I've attended, you can see them. It's capturing all of them and it's keeping them. And just in case I need to see more information. So my private calls are here. Team calls that I had with team can be here. These are my private calls that I had with people. So you can come in here, click on it, see this is my entire video recording of what we did. And I can look at the meeting purpose. Everything is captured in here. The whole meeting is here, but you can see my transcript here. So I can come in here and copy, just click on copy transcript. Once I copy the transcript, move it into my, whatever I wanted and interpret it. So I can come back. Let's assume this transcript, I can just come in here, come to ChatGPT. I don't like using ChatGPT anyway. I use Gemini and I just tell him to build a product requirement document for me as a result of that transcript. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. So it's possible to record on your phone and then, upload on Fathom to transcribe.
No, ask the question again. Maybe you missed. What did you say? Sorry.
I said, is it possible to, do the recording on your phone, let's say during a meeting, and then after the meeting, you kind of just upload the recorded meeting on Fathom, then it transcribes?
No, Fathom do not do that. But for that one, if you want to do that type, this is the solution I'll ask you to use. It's called I've forgotten the name of this solution. I don't know, it just skipped my mind. It does speech to text. I've forgotten. I'll remember the name. Text let me check. I will see if it's one of these ones. This one that I've used, really, really good. And all you just need to do is, you can record on your phone, right? And all you just need to do is, once you are done recording on your phone, just switch on the thing on your laptop and then leave it to keep typing everything that was said during the meeting. I'm sure you all like that one, right?
Oh, yeah.
Let me look for it. Yes, somebody has a question. Go ahead with your question while I'm looking for it. Somebody else with the question, please.
I don't have a question. I was just going to say that I think for me, I use Otter AI for that. But the one that I don't have to pay for is the voice.
Yes, I remember it now. It's called dictation.io. 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 Guys, please, everyone, just see this dictation, not dictation with a C. Where's the dictation? Yeah, dictation.io. Where are you? Yeah, this is it here. Yep, and it's free, right? You come into dictation.io and you don't need to raise, you don't even need to open an account. All you just need to do is click on either you launch dictation, yeah, and then all you just need to do. So right now I'm going to click on start and we'll just be talking. So once I click on start, it always when I visit this site. So anything I say, it just start picking everything and it keeps writing it. Let me delete all of this. Yeah, so anything I say, it will keep writing it, and then I can use that information. So just imagine me putting my phone beside this and it's just writing everything. Yeah, you can see it's writing what I'm saying, right, guys?
Yeah.
So all you just need to do is put your phone, whatever you recorded, put your phone in, just put it down beside your computer, open this page and let it keep writing. And when it's done writing, all you just need to do is copy. So you just click on copy. So I can stop, click on stop, copy, and then you can take it anywhere and ask the AI simple things like make this into a PRD for me with all the details I have captured. Yeah, just put it here and then let it do the work. So don't mind me, all of this, I'm just giving an example. So it's going to create a
Sure,
PRD.
based on what you've written.
Sorry. So it writes all of this, it will structure it down for you from the information, write user stories, writes everything for you. Do you understand what I'm trying to say, guys? Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Oh yeah, am I free to go? Thank you, everyone. Yeah.
Yeah. I think.
Thank you so much.
Any more questions, Ronald? Okay, so before we go, and because we need to get this recorded out to everyone, and I'm not sure everyone has registered as well. Rita, you've got a question. Is that for Digi?
No, I think it's for you. I was going to say that I didn't get the last recording. I don't know.
Okay, I think I sent it out. I sent it out to the emails. Okay, what I'm going to do right now is share. First of all, I will share the survey just for us to have an understanding of what will happen next, as to know what trainings we can focus on next as well. So if you can quickly fill the survey, and then I would also share a link where we can capture your email address as well. The survey also gives us an opportunity to capture email address. We can use that to share the recording, but again, I will share the link for the registration link just so we can have it again as well. So if you can just quickly fill up the survey, it takes less than 3 minutes, and then let me know, and I can share the link as well. So
I was going to check if I would also get, the last recording as well, please.
definitely, I will definitely send it to you. Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Can I just get a thumbs up if you're done filling up the survey, so I can share the link, so I can we can share the recording for today's session. So I'm just going to give everyone, thanks, Ronald. 2 minutes. Yes, I will send you the recording for the last session as well. So if you need the recording for the last session, please also indicate in the chat so I can just I can make sure to include you in that batch.